Ready? All right. This is Naphtali live on location for the TGI Office Automation Video Network. And we're here, and this is a first. I've interviewed a lot of people far and wide in many different places, but never in a church. So that's why this is a first for me. And I'm sitting here with the honorable bringer and uniter of people in Brooklyn, New York, Pastor Gil Monrose. Pastor, how you doing?
I am fine, and thank you, and welcome to Mount Zion, and I'm glad that you are here today.
Thank you.
This is the best place you can be.
I'm glad to be here. I feel the aura.
Good, thank God.
Good, you know. TGI is honoring you, and you're receiving an award upcoming in a few weeks at the Brooklyn Trade Show, I understand. And that's one reason we're here, so that the people will know the man behind the myth and the legend. That's Pastor Gil Monroe.
Well, yeah, I'm definitely honored whenever someone calls. It doesn't happen often.
Right.
Call and say, listen, we want to honor your work. The work that we do, of course, is not to be honored or recognized. It is really to give voice to the voiceless, to actually operate and minister in areas that is not common. And sometimes the work that we do go unnoticed for a very long time. But every now and again, someone kind of see the work that we're doing and they highlight what we do. But we're truly honored and humbled to be given the award.
Exactly. I want you to, I want to get a sense of who you are, where you're from, how long you've been in New York as you grow up here, and how long this great parish has been in existence. Tell me a little bit, and tell our viewers and listeners about the Seventh-day Adventist religion, how it juxtaposes with other faiths, and basically your magic as a uniter of people in the community, and getting the young men and people to do the right thing on the straight and narrow.
So I've been here for 15 years now. Come to Bible school. So came here and became the youth pastor, and then became the pastor. I guess they couldn't find anyone else. I guess.
Nice. Yeah.
But the way that you grow and you develop, I'm a product of this church, and
From the area.
Well, I moved from the Virgin Islands.
Okay.
And I came to Bible school, and then about 15 years ago, and I've been here ever since. I've been 10 years now being the pastor of this church.
Great.
So I've had the good fortune of being with a lot of people over the 10 years, and ups and downs. And I've been in this community, of course, and so the love and the work that we do is all based around the community. This is a community church. We're in urban ministry. We're in a dense population of the most Caribbean American people outside of the Caribbean. Lives right here in Brooklyn. If you would have to take a trip to any of the islands, you can come right here in Flatbush and you can receive all the food, the culture. And so you have the mix and the diversity of all individuals. This actually location here in East Flatbush, or what they call Rugby, was once a Jewish neighborhood. And this is a Jewish synagogue, one of three that was built by a well-renowned architect called Peter Millman. And so in the late 1960s, as the Caribbean was coming into America, the Jewish population was now moving out to Williamsburg and to Crown Heights. And so, Midwood. And so we were fortunate to have this church. And we purchased the church in about 1970. Wow. And so it's a Sabbath-keeping church. So we say that these doors have been open since 1930.
Okay.
And so there have never been a weekend when these doors were ever closed in this community. Wow. So this has been a staple in this community since the 1930s, and so we're glad to continue the legacy.
That's awesome, man. So and the spirit remains. And people may change, but the spirit is
the same. It's the same. We work so that people who society has cast off, or who society sometimes believes that they will never amount to anything. This is where we come in. We come to give that voice, that hope, to lift the spirit up. And we do it every single day. We do it every week. And some people catch on to the message. Some people feel that it's not for them.
Right.
But at the end of the day, our job is to make sure that we do the work that God has called us to do.
Indeed. All right. Well, that's a good thing. And apparently it's been working. I was told that you started this Flatbush Academy.
So the Flatbush Leadership Academy came out of the protest in Brooklyn a few years ago, when a young, unarmed 16-year-old teenage boy, a young teenage boy who was killed by the NYPD.
Right.
And out of that, the story was not just the killing of the young boy, but was the uprising of the community at that point in time.
Okay.
And so we got together and we pulled our heads together to talk about actually what we can do in a constructive way, not just to react, but also to be proactive. And a lot of times what you see in our communities is that people are reacting.
Yes.
You saw the brawl at the McDonald's with the teenage
Yes.
girls.
And I was going to bring that up later.
And everyone is reacting to this, but we know that this is a part of our life, and we know that this is a part of our school structure. And a lot of people don't want to say it, but listen, it was nothing big for us to see it. I mean, the world look at it and they say, wow,
Yeah.
here it is that you have young ladies who are involved in gangs.
Exactly.
Where do you sit right now? We have the most gangs in New York City.
Really?
Yes, sir. Not only that, we have failing schools, and we have in our communities we have what you call the $1 Million Block, where $1 Million Block is in areas in Brownsville where the majority of those young men go off to prison, and so we have been seeing in our communities that we have a lot of work to do, and one of the areas of our church is that we understand from our calling what Jesus Christ did was that he had a holistic view of mankind. And I have the same approach. I have the message of soup, salvation, and soap.
Okay.
In other words, we talk to your spirit, but we also understand that you need to be clean physically and spiritually. But you also need to be fed spiritually and physically. So our message is that we are going to feed you if you're hungry. We're going to give you a word. We're going to speak to your spirit if you're down and you need to be lifted up. And we're also going to give you a hand up as well in the same time. So the work that we were trying to do is to take young men who are involved in the protests, young men who are on the street corners, and to be able to take them through a series of courses so that they can see that, you know what, the world is more than just what they have been seeing. A lot of young people in Brownsville and East New York have never, jumped on the train to go to Manhattan.
Wow.
And so we want to open up the parameter of our young people. And people say, well, you go to Africa, you go to China, you go to these places to minister to people, but right here in our community needs the help. And so our job is to help right here in the community.
It starts at home, the old saying. It starts
Yes,
at home.
yes.
And speaking to that, it starts in the home. But how
Right.
do you address those things as well?
Right.
Kind of hard?
No. I mean, listen, the ruling to not have prayer in school, a lot of people have some concerns. I'm a non-traditional type of thinker.
Okay.
So I think sometime out of the realms of even the framework that I'm in my local denomination as well. So the issue for me is not taking prayer out of the school. The issue for me is taking prayer out of the home. What you have is that people are not praying and working with the children from home. They're too busy, 2 and 3 jobs, they're tired in the morning. So there's a constant struggle. The values that they had, they're losing those things. Those are very basic, fundamental helps that you can give to young people to kind of shape them and grow them when they even go to school. Right. So prayer is important. Yeah. And I know that the Mayor Bill de Blasio talked about taking prayer breaks for the universal pre-K, and folks are up in arms. And my thing is that you allow everyone to pray. And when I give the Muslim the right to pray, when I give the Buddhist the right to pray, I am saying that I want you to give me my right to pray as well. True. So give the break, and everyone can pray the way that they feel best.
Do you feel like society is evolving towards that? And I mean, the separation of church and state is a thing where
is there?
I don't know. It's emerging, is what I'm saying. It's a constitutional thing, and that's where people get up in arms about it. You know,
separation of church and state. I mean, just a question. Think about it. You have spring break, which is actually Easter break. You have a Christmas break, which is actually, quote unquote, should be the birth of Jesus Christ around Christmas time. Right. On all the monies that we have, it says, "In God we trust." When you go to the court, it says, "In God we trust."
True.
So, we could have it both ways. We can legalize, we can pontificate about what it should be. But I think at the end of the day, when you have good people who's doing good work, I think it transcends church, state. You just have to be able to work and do what's best for the community.
Indeed. We're going to take a break right about now and pick up another segment.
Okay.